Of course I knock stuff down. Welcome back, everybody. Jet Scott here with Scott Speed Shop, and today, well, we're working on the 400. So we got our old control module that used to be on our very first run stand we built. We dug this out of the barn. It's already got quite a bit. We went and got a new mini starter because I realized the headers I was going to mock up on the engine just to run, they don't work with a stock starter, even though they're from the early 70s, as you can see by the 4-bolt header flange there. And I didn't want to beat them up anymore, so Dad went down to the parts store and we found us a little Dakota mini starter. And I've always heard about these studs hitting the blocks right there on the big terminal, and I've never had that happen, but it happened on this one. So I had to trim that guy down quite a bit, and I had one of those relocation pieces, but it made it worse. So yeah, that was an AutoZone starter. Normally I like having the Jegs ones because they're actually pretty affordable and they're really kick-ass what they are. But that's all beside the point. What we got left to do is we're going to put a little bit of oil in the transmission. We've got to sauce up the engine, glue the intake down, yada yada yada. We're going to prime it probably just to be on the safe side, and make a coil wire, and you know, just all the little doodins we got left to do. It's not a whole lot, but the goal is to get this son of a gun running. So the exhaust covers will be coming off. Like I said, these big white headers should be going on there. If not these ones, then I've got another pair there, and there's a chrome set of fender well headers right there. Those are small block. Those are Hemi. There's another set of fender well big blocks, the white ones hanging down. Those are actually early B-body. Then there's that set that came off my cousin John David's Fury, I believe. They're all beat to crap, but they were cheap. And then I also got that pair that also came from John David. And so yeah, we got plenty of headers to pick from. Those are small block. Those are big block fender wells right there, right next to Jezebel's old homemade Zoomies. And well, those are early Hemi. Those are 426. That's Buick Nailhead. And then the other set over there, the rib cage looking ones, those are for a Gen 1 Hemi as well. So we're gonna walk past old Staldo here, pay a little homage to the old red 64 that we're doing all this work for, to get her ready to rock and roll and get back on the road. So if you didn't believe me for whatever reason that I got plenty of sets of headers, I hope you understand now. So regardless, we'll have a set of headers on there, and I got a set of HP manifolds. I haven't decided yet on what's going to go on here at the end when it goes into the car, but I figure, you know what, for now this thing ought to look really bitchin' once we get everything assembled on here and have those white headers. So sorry for the extra long introduction, but just wanted to get everybody caught up, and well, let's get this steel crank internally balanced 400 running again, and let's see how she runs now that she's been purdied up, cam degreed in, advanced, and well, we got a way better intake than we used to have. So let's make her run. What do you say? Yep. Kind of hoping that maybe these headers here will fit in the Polara somehow, because decided to go ahead and put another little light coat of paint on them, and went ahead and baked it on with the MAP gas torch. And I'm kind of really digging that. I was thinking about manifolds, but yeah, I think it's gonna need headers just because my inner redneck is coming out. And maybe it's not my inner redneck, I don't know what it is, but white headers on any engine are always better than nothing.
Yeah, like we could throw a bolt through it or weld a nut and have a bolt squeezed down on it.
That is very true. The thing we're working on is when we had this stand in the barn with the old 440, it was kind of just really impromptuly made, and I really like it though. Now it's got wheels, but it was set up where the radiator basically just sat out in front on the ground. And well, now it's on these big old casters and everything's working pretty good. It found some square tubing that'll slide inside that square tubing, and then the idea is to have like 2 extra little legs on either side that'll come out, and they'll be connected with the radiator, and that'll give this thing a radiator, so that way it can run basically as long as it takes. It could be a shop heater, it could be a barn heater, it could just be a big old noise maker.
An asphyxiator.
And Everybody's going to try and say it now. Some people are going to get it, and other people are going to sound like me. But I do have header mufflers for this bad girl, and it probably will not be firing it up like shooting over into my corner where I like breathing because, well, I do like breathing, and I kind of like being alive too. If I was going to have an engine that was going to, you know, try and did that word, me, it would probably be the Hemi. That would probably be okay. I could die like that one happily. But anyways, enough of that talk. I need to get in gear so we can get everything all plumbed up, get all these taken care of. Just gonna take out the heater hose fittings for now, and we will plug those, and then when this thing goes into the car, we can put these back on. It's just for the premise of, I agree with Dad, a big old looped hose right there always looks like trash. And sometimes it's okay for me to do that because I like irritating folks, but I kind of like how this engine's looking, and I'd like to give it the best chance of looking good and sounding good.
We need a couple of 3/8 pipe plugs.
Mm-hmm. But, yep, the control stand will be mounted onto one of these little mounts here too, so we're going to get to work, and we'll catch in with you guys here in a little bit. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, my stomach started hurting me. That's why you don't see headers or anything going on up there. Dad got all the radiator mount system done, and the control panel. Basically exactly what we were thinking about. And that looks really good, Dad.
Threaded in bolts and just loosen them up and take everything apart and scatter it.
And that sleeve there will keep those pieces together along with the radiator, and they slip right into them ends, and that works out really good, actually, in my opinion. Bought this radiator from a guy at the swap meet. It's a 66 B-body factory manual radiator, which is kind of neat. I sold my fancy aluminum one to my buddy Jesse so he could use it, and then that following weekend at the swap meet, this guy popped up. It's an original that had been record. Guy spent $400 on it, and he sold it to us for $200 because all he wanted. And so, yeah, we bought that because any factory radiator manual I know is worth $200. As you see, there's no coolant lines for the automatic transmission, no embossments. So we'll also be able to find out if that radiator's worth a dang. Because a swap meet find can't be that bad, just like trusting an old drain plug gasket. I'm glad I didn't put that much oil in here. Have to fix that too. But got a number of little things to take care of, and we're just going to keep plucking away, but it sure as heck ain't going to take much to get this old 400 running. I know that because I was cranking it over with just the breaker bar, and she's got some great compression. Yeah. So, here's your update. Keep going. I think she was hiding. She's kind of a ground dweller. Pepper likes to be up high. Athena likes to burrow.
I think it might be too high.
Alrighty, so we got time for a little bit of an update here. A lot has gone on and a lot of changes have happened to the old 400 here. The headers are mounted. Don't know if these are going to be the ones that go in the car, but they were like the one pair I had, like I'd explained earlier probably, that were already kind of painted half-assed, kind of nice. So went ahead and got those. Just rebuilt that 750 double pumper, which really just needed some gaskets and stuff. Just kind of doing it all simple here. Dad went ahead and made us a coil wire. You'll see the one blue wire we got. Had to make that one a 90 to fit on there good. That's the radiator I plan on using in the Polara. Hopefully it doesn't leak and the guy didn't lie about it being record. That'd be kind of nice if it was, you know, all nice and new. So Dad's just hooking up fuel. He got it all primed up the other night. I got the intake glued on last night. Like I said, did that double pumper. Got new valve cover gaskets. Well, everything should just be about right. Right, Dad?
I think so.
We got the oil pan to stop leaking, and that little drip right there, that's probably that rear main, just a little weep. That's better than what the drain plug was doing earlier. Just had to tap that up to the next bigger size. So, well, it won't be long before we'll be hopefully getting this old beast fired up. Put a little bit of oil in the transmission, find out where it leaks, and ignore those leaks, hopefully. Yeah. So, here's to it, almost. Well, how goes the transmission filling, Dad?
There's it going. Ain't made a mess yet.
That's pretty handy there.
Yeah, pretty right on. Yeah, give her a little bit of squeeze.
That is the correct GL4 oil that will not attack the yellow metal, aka the brass. We got 4 jugs of that from Danny Brewer. And we got some gas here to pre-fill the carburetor. Just put some gas in tanky. Little shut-off valve there, dead added. Thank God we have that now. It makes that a lot nicer. So the engine shouldn't have to work too much as long as all the work is right. It should dang near light off immediately and then choke us out because it's cold outside. It got really cold on us here in Kansas. It's like 40 degrees, 30 degrees or something. And we just came off of like 60, upper 60s.
37 degrees on my pickup.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll fire it up and we'll breathe some ugly fumes just for a bit, just to make sure she's going to run. And then we'll probably open the big door or something. But, almost there. Alrighty, well, finally got the camera where I'm happy with it. I guess it's one of those times where you're either going to sink or swim, right, dude?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You probably don't want to hear it on the camera.
Oh. Ready?
Yeah.
Remember that thing that Howard said about
Oh yeah, the wrench.
the wrench?
Look at this.
Oh! Oh, it's the shape of a header tube. Look at that, it's round on the backside. That's fantastic.
I forgot about that wrench.
I did too.
So,
Because he was standing,
said something about it.
he was standing there and it would have racked him perfectly. It Alrighty, ready for take 2, Dad? Sure. See what happens. That shocked the piss out of me.
Start your camera back up.
Not quite. Go ahead and fire it back up. Advance time and a skosh. Take 4. Contact. Yeah, I kind of heard it. It sounded like it may have been missing a bit to me too. I could kind of hear something in there. The thing I'm kind of pretty happy with is the lack of stuff on the ground, minus those spots we kind of knew about.
3, is that number 3?
Yeah, we might double check the wires. Because it does sound like there's one guy not coming to the party.
Maybe the point's need a little shine.
The Mallory dual point ought to be fine. We'll double check all the wires, make sure nothing's grounding out. But so far, I mean, I don't.
75 pounds of oil pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it sounds to you folks at home watching this. Sometimes the camera makes things sound cool. Sometimes it sounds terrible. And most of the times when they sound terrible, it's because they do sound terrible because they're stock. And, well, I ain't watched this footage. And, well, personally, I don't have an opinion to make of the 400 yet on what it sounds like. But I hope it sounds pretty good. Hopefully you guys can tell me how it sounds. Of course, by that time, I will have listened to it in this video clip while editing. But it's good to have it running. And minimal leakage. It'd be a good time to probably start introducing the coolant. Oh, I got a question now. Just because we've run it a little bit. Okay, we're still... Might just be that fuel efficient.
Ready?
You ready, Dad? Take 4 or 5. I lost count. Yeah, 40's a bit much. Ready? All right, well, never really had an engine get warm before, but I also don't really normally use stock radiators. Well, I did get to review a little bit of the footage. It sounded pretty good. It sounded kind of slow on timing, but I guess it was fast because we were at what, 40 degrees?
Yeah.
And now we're at 30 all in.
Totally.
But yeah, she got a little warm there. We know we don't have like full coolant. And well, this thing kind of likes to wobble a little bit. That's kind of not so great, but we got her idled down, so we're gonna let her just sit here and, you know, she's just gonna have to bake herself a little bit until we get everything tightened up. Oh yeah, they're probably gonna need to be tightened up, all of them.
Just a little bit right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these all got loose. That's what happens when things get warm. Everything starts to seat, and this is when you got to come back and retighten everything. But once you get all these things tight, after a few heat cycles, you shouldn't really have issues again. If you do, well, then you need to take your stuff back apart and fix it. So, yeah, look at that. See how much we just keep getting on these. These are nice, thick cast aluminum covers, so we ain't got too much to worry about. I might burn on my shirt on the headers.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like it, yeah. Woo, my shirt's hot. Dad's working his magic on the old points. Just making sure they're all adjusted properly. Opening when they're supposed to be and when they're not supposed to be. Bump the engine around. Do a bunch of checking. This is the stuff we don't typically film because, you know, Dad and I aren't real talkative when we're doing the fine-tuning stuff. We just kind of do. Explaining it's too much of a pain in the butt most of the time. Alright, so the engine's cooled down, tightened up the valve covers, and tightened the headers. Dad shined up the points. We did not mess with the timing. We did tighten up the distributors, so maybe we did. I guess we'll see how she fires up after being a little warm. I mean, it doesn't sound like a dragster engine by any means. I got kind of nervous about the oil pressure, but it's okay. It's just, you know. Yeah, I'm not used to like stock oil pumps that actually go down to about 30 psi when they're idling and warmed up. And she's getting up into the 230 range pretty quickly, but she's doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Well, actually, Dad wanted to know if the tachometer was working, so. even these, I said reset everything on the idle mixtures back to 1.5. So maybe she just wants a little more fuel. Calm her down a little bit. Well, except for that one cylinder, it's got a street dominator. It's the reason why I got the street dominator for it. It's supposed to be a kick-ass intake, but it works good on the old satellite's 451.
See if it's got an intake loop. Sure it don't.
I'd hope not.
All those gaskets and shit.
Yeah, I doubt it. It doesn't sound like it's got a vacuum leak. It's just,
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't come down for.
yeah,
When you rev it up, that vacuum leak, it just come down real slow.
yeah. It's probably just something I missed in the carburetor. We might have. We got smoke. I didn't blow out the air bleeds. That was something I actually just remembered I didn't do. That's a typical thing I normally like doing to make sure all the air bleeds are clear, and I did not do that. I just remembered that. Crap. Well,
Starts easy enough.
it starts
When
great.
it revs up, you don't have no dead spot.
That's true. I think we may have, I don't know if we quelled this oil leak. I don't think there's anything new here. No. So we probably stopped up that leak, and well, I mean, that spot looks like it got a little bit bigger, but you know. It's probably because I didn't clean the block right here where it's sitting on that ledge. That'd be why.
Is that coming from there?
It was. This is before we tightened all the valve covers up after it was running. And remember, we had a puddle of oil sitting right here?
Yeah, I watched it drip out right there.
We still got a puddle of oil right here.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's still dripping down there, so we take care of that. I'm kind of impressed. No leaks. Yeah, again, doesn't sound like a dragster engine, but you know what? Wasn't building a dragster out of the 64 red Polara. It's supposed to just be a daggone driver. So I'm going to say this, in the words of Borat again. Last time we had this 400 running, I quoted Borat, and I'm going to quote him again with, very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Most excellent.
Sounds like it's running smoothly.
Yeah.
I don't know where this wire was not hitting.
That may have been the misfire. I wonder if maybe this, you know, okay, I just thought about this. So our lean cylinder here, it's got this NGK wire. It's the only one like that. I wonder if that NGK wire is just a big piece of crap.
You reckon?
I bought them on sale for $20. I mean, but they were the only ones I had that had 90-degree boots.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, this is the condition of the NGK box because it's, I mean, I didn't really want them. I was just curious if they were real NGK brand and fit Big Block Chrysler, and they do. So, I mean, there's a Moroso set there too, but, you know, you can never have too many sets of plug wires. Like, can't have too many carburetors, and can't have too many big blocks, and you can't really have too many projects, even though I did just trade off a project today for another pair of W2 race heads, but, you know, that's just wheeling and dealing, folks. So, unless we get any more filming done, and we get this 400 sounding any meaner, or something blows up, I guess this is it, folks. Thank you for tuning in, for seeing the old 400 and 4-speed all come together and get running again. And thank you, Dad, for all your hard work as always.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty proud of my little engine standing fell over yet.
Well, not a camera. Don't forget that it did kind of make a topple, but we'll check that up for a prototype design.
That was a swivel wheel fail.
Yeah. Make sure you mount your swivel wheels to something stouter than a U-bolt. Little tanky now has a home. That was on the 300. My little temporary fuel tank. Bought that on Amazon just to see if their cheap little fake moon tanks were worth a crap. I can honestly say it was worth the $30 or $20, whatever it was. But there's the old 400. Pretty happy with it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, look forward to seeing you in the next video. So as always, take care and
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. That'd be a good time, like if 400 just magically busted off or something, you know, that'd be pretty neat. Very nice.
No blur, gonna be singing it too.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, so we did a thing, didn't we, Dad?
I reckon.
He had a couple of different pair of 4-bolt header mufflers, and well, I know what my little blue ones will do to an engine, and they make an engine incredibly quiet. And so we just figured, you know, we'd see what these red ones sound like. Dad,
Hit it?
you want to do the honors?
You turn the gas back on.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. I always forget about that. It's got a header leak. Leaking right there. I bet I know why it's leaking too. That stud is right in the header tube. See right here? So it can't get fully sealed. I should have cut the end of that stud off a little bit. That fan moves some air, don't it? That actually sounds pretty good. Probably idle that down some. I can live with that. And there's the header leak. I'm going back over here. You can't hear the header leak is bad. Howdy, Anna. You're in your homeless pants. We're filming bonus features because 400 are running. Pretty happy with that. Basically no leaks. It runs a little warm good. It's only got half the coolant than it needs, but that's what I wanted to see right there. A pretty flywheel. The flywheel shouldn't get rusty anytime soon. Like I said, it's literally the stud itself is ramrodded into the tube. I don't know if we'll ever get that one sealed up. Good work, Dad. Now kill her. Because some of us still got a little work left to do in here. I didn't leave that fan on. I should turn that fan back on. I actually really like how that sounds with the mufflers. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. Open header sounded kind of neat, but it's also nice being able to actually hear the engine and not be worried about it. It's really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Those little blue ones, surprisingly. So literally, that little blue guy, when I had these headers on the 440 we got from Steve, that's in the 300 out there, when I put those mufflers on it, it made it dead quiet. Like, couldn't even hardly hear it. And I'm impressed that this 400 must just have better compression. I don't know. I don't know what's done on the inside of it, really. I didn't check to see what cam it has. It looks kind of stock to me, so. But valve springs weren't nothing special, but I'm kind of impressed with it sounding as good as it does. I'm not putting those janky blue ones on there, though. Might just keep those for the Polara, though. That's pretty dang cool. There! I can't believe I've gone this whole daggone video with having the wrong air cleaner on it. But this makes it kind of hard to rev. But that's it for all the extra footage. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Always, see you later.
Bye.
And bye-bye. Daggone header leak. Oh yeah. Howdy folks, Jed here. I actually am only filming this because I cannot remember if we actually got this thing idling down on video or we added all the extra coolant and got her cooled down. The old 400, a couple days afterwards, this is Tuesday, after we got her running, and well, minus one header leak on the passenger side. Right there, it's because the stud is hitting the tube. So we're going to take the header off and trim that up. Oil pressure stays right there at idle. Ain't got a return spring on her yet, but really happy with how everything turned out. Really couldn't be any happier. No fresh leaks. That's all just residual, all those little spots. Except for we might have one coming out the rear main. That one right there, actually, I lied. That one right there is kind of new. But staying nice and cool, got good oil pressure, runs good. Man, couldn't be any happier. So, just wanted to break out the camera, make sure I got some of this on video. I'll throw in the clips of Dad really cleaning out the old 400 from my personal phone. And, well, thank you guys for checking it out. Next time, well, hopefully sometime, oh, that's not the right deal. There it is. Sorry, that's my dad, my dad's apprentice, or his co-worker. Someday soon we'll get back onto this guy and finish her up now that we got a complete drivetrain. It's running good. So thank you everybody for checking this out, and thank you for giving me a reason to come out here and keep having fun and playing with stuff like this. As always, take care and bye-bye one more time.
Bye-bye.
guys.